Everybody got it? Okay. What I would like for you to do is, if you would take that color sheet and everybody just put it in your hands like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read to you some instructions. What I would like for you to do as I'm reading you those instructions is for you to close your eyes and just simply follow my words. There's no reason to peek. There's no reason to work with a buddy or a partner. Okay? You are just simply following my words. Okay? Let's have everybody take a big deep breath. Okay, close your eyes. Fold your paper in half. Tear off the top right-hand corner. Fold the paper in half again. Tear off the top left-hand corner. Fold the paper in half again. Really checking your fine motor skills here. Tear off the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, open up your eyes, open up your paper, and hold it up for everyone to see. Kathy says mine's not very fun. Okay. All right. We've kind of got the mask look over here a little bit. We've got bigger holes with Randy. Okay. All right. We've got the one-holer. Yes. And then we've kind of got the edges, people, a little bit. A little bit. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, Kathy. Well, then there's Kathy's. And then there's Leslie's. Now, well, just a little different. Okay. All right. Tamara. That doctor got you somewhere, didn't it? but I gave, let's see. We've got the holes here in the middle. Okay, so we've got some commonality, there's some difference here too. Okay? But, same instructions. Same instructions. But what happened? You interpreted it a little bit differently, right? Okay? But you want to believe, as you look at that piece of paper and you think about that as the child, we all want to believe that that child's life is a certain way, or certain things are happening in their microsystem, and in their mesosystem, and in their exosystem. We want to believe that there's all this continuity, but yet it's not. And while you may have some commonality amongst children that may be within a group that you're working with, or within a household, it may be very, very different. But you can take this particular activity and do so much with it. I mean, I had one of the business instructors in Tulsa who came over to me and he said, he said, there's some business theory, I could have a real party with this. And I said, you know what, that's what I want you to do, is to get people to think about it just a little bit differently. And while I can sit and process all day about each one of these pieces of paper represents a child in a classroom, and I could talk all day about different things that might make your child different from your child that's different from your child, because every single one of those were a different piece of paper. Okay? But you can continue to process that and do lots and lots of things. I have students that will fold that up, put it away, and I will see them out and about and say, I still have that piece of paper. Because it reminds me of what I need to remember, that everyone is just so very different because of their lives and how their ecological systems are different. Okay? So some of you now are starting to bob your head down. You're starting to get, okay, this is how I can make it work. All right, another fun thing that I like to do is to make your lecture their lecture. When I have put together for you all of these activities, I put together a handout for you and you can take them as you leave. But one thing that I love to do is I like to get the students up on the very first night that I have them in class. And basically, they will stand up and they will tell the class about ecological theory because they've read about it. That's how they were supposed to prepare for class. And what I'll do is I'll put the sheet together and I'll give them a focus, and then they have to identify what each one of the systems are, and then they give examples, but not just the textbook examples. They all have to sit and process together specific examples that are in their lives, which is another part of their writing assignment that they have to do. And so they've got to sit and they've really got to process and talk about it. And I will always say to them, you know, that very first night, especially when we get to the end of that night, I'll say, did you ever think that you would be up here teaching the class tonight? And they're all just, you know, knees are knocking and carrying on, and I'll just say, that's what this is about, is you've got to get up here, you've got to make this learning come alive. You have 5 nights with me. And that's the only way I know is to get you thinking about reading what theory says, but how does it apply to me and my experiences? And they will get up time after time after time, and they will talk about how this has impacted them in realizing what they're doing in their lives every day and how this theory is coming alive for them. And so another way that you can create that opportunity. One other fun little thing I like to do is I like to mix it up a little bit. So I will do like a this is if you'll just choose one with it. This again is Bronfenbrenner's ecological model. And what I'll do is put it together and ask them to draw a strip. And somebody is going to have an actual scenario, and then somebody who hopefully has been paying attention to this lecture is going to have the answer for that. I think I've got a few more here. Got it? All right. There, I've got one more. Okay, somebody out in the group has got a scenario, and would you please read that for me? You got a scenario. Some of you already have the exosystem, the macro system, but some of you have got some scenarios. Okay?
Well, TV is very limited at your house. Your daughter Zoe has been playing at the neighbor's house and now wants to watch Nickelodeon.
Okay? So what would that be an example of? We're at the neighbor's house. That would be the mesosystem. Who's my mesosystem person? Gwen's got it. And Gwen was going, I think it's me, I think it's me. Okay, that's absolutely correct. And the tip there was at the neighbor's house, and we're watching Nickelodeon, which may or may not be something that goes on in your household. Okay, thank you. All right, who's my next scenario? Somebody's got it.
You've had a horrible day at work, to include being transferred to another department. This new department and job assignment makes you very uneasy.
So who would that be? That would be the exosystem. And what was your trigger on that? It was the workplace. Okay, so that was very much that reality of that system. Okay, all right. Who's got the next one?
Storm season is here again, and it's conjuring up memories of tornadoes and severe weather seasons. Your child becomes very worried when the clouds are in the sky.
What's that example of? Chronosystem? Have you got it? No? Good, Kathy, line up, oh my God, who's got the chrono? Sierra's got the chrono. And think about that. What do we face here in Oklahoma that has changed our lives? It's tornadoes and severe weather, right? Okay, so a lot of things that we've done because of that has changed. All right, there should be one more out there who's got it. Okay?
As you were driving to work today, you were pulled over for speeding. The last thing you need is a $160 ticket to pay if this charge is met.
What would that be an example of? You broke a law. Macro system. Okay, who's got the macro system? All right, right over here. Because you broke the law, and because of that aggravation, it's going to go back into the household because what is it talking about? I may be worried about I can't pay my bills. Okay? All right, there should be one more. One more about Michael. Somebody's got to have it. Well, I'll read it. Each and every evening, Michael waits for his mom to read him a story after bath time. What would that be an example of? Microsystem. I'm looking at a couple of students over here who should be jumping on that. Microsystem. Okay. So do you see how you can change it up and how you can make that an opportunity that's in the classroom? And then you can have them process that all evening long if you want to in many, many different ways. All right. Ideas others of you have? Other ideas? That you do some hands-on things? That anybody's willing to share? At all? I'm the only loser out there that's making them do this? Come on. I do activities with blocks. I know I've seen some of you that have had blocks in your classrooms. I actually bring in big blocks and have them build huge structures and talk about that. There is all kinds of fun games that you can play, but the reality of it is you're engaging, and for your navigators that are out there, you're helping them because they want to complete the project. And then for your problem solvers, they can sit and they can think about it and think about it and think about it, but they're also processing it with their group members as well. So remember, when you are engaging these learners, keep it learner-centered, which is what Malcolm Knowles talks about. Remember the characteristics. You've got learners that are sitting out there in your classrooms that are independent, they're self-directed, and they're highly motivated. And I can say that is so true for students here that come to the SMU Adult Studies program. The importance of weaving in critical reflection, having the opportunity for letting them value their learning experiences, and then being aware of your own learning strategy. As I was saying, as a navigator, I want to get them paced through and going for the evening, but I have to remember that for my engagers and my problem solvers in my classroom, I got to give them a little bit more time as I think about prepping and doing. And then, of course, just being aware of other types of learning strategies, and that picking it up, varying, doing, really does make a lot of difference in students' lives. And I will tell you that I hear from students all the time out in the community and emails, and just like I told the group last night, you get out there and you really start to see everything that you learned, how that really does richen you as not only yourself, but to get yourself moving forward with your next choice for career, your personal life, and how you're going to impact the people that you work with every day. As Kathy mentioned, one of the other fun things that I've been able to do is to create products for kids who have sensory issues. And that has really kind of taken off, and now I've got these actual products are being used in Alzheimer's and dementia care units. in several of the nursing home centers here in Oklahoma City. And this was truly an idea for a friend of mine's child who is ADHD and sensory processing. And the creations that I put together fit up underneath the child's school desk. And then what we have found them doing is they're also putting them on desks and different things for patients who are many times in wheelchairs or into some sort of not being able to move very much, but they have to have that sensory push and textures to be able to fiddle to focus. So this has just been another little fun project that I put together, but it's been really neat over this past year to see how it's been changing children's lives as well as those who are suffering from those particular areas as well. So with that, I've enjoyed it. Sue, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. She didn't tell you about the peanut butter and jelly and all the other things we've seen up on our floor, but it just gets people excited and gets involved in the learning. And thank you for your